What is going on, my cryptocurrency enthusiast? Man, I just dropped a video a few hours ago and it has been blowing up. Thank you so much for the kind feedback. This one guy said that your content is really lame, but that's okay. I appreciate you checking it out anyways, and I know a lot of you appreciate what I'm dropping, so I've got more exciting news for you. There are so many gold nuggets dropping these days. I've been checking out like XRP, Crypto Wolf, and a bunch of guys on Twitter, and they're posting absolute gold. With that being said, I've got my ginger tonic water sparkling juice here ready to roll with ice and everything, and then my girls are sitting on the porch enjoying a nice afternoon on the deck at our lake house. I'm excited to get rolling on this video, so let's get into it.
Thanks for watching my dad's channel, Crypto Media. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Now guys, there's been a lot of buzz about gold and the idea of a new world reserve currency of gold, a new gold reserve, and as well as, you know, an XRP backed digitized gold currency in the US. So breaking news from Gold Telegraph here said recently India has issued a sovereign gold bond, and we know that 100% of India's banks are on the XRP enabled for their banking. Turkey issues a gold bond. I don't know much about XRP connection with Turkey, but now the president of the Shanghai Gold Exchange called for a new super sovereign currency to offset the global dominance of the US dollar guys, which he predict would decline in long term. So what are people saying in this thread here? Sources: Shanghai Gold Bond boss wants super sovereign currency for post-crisis times. Guys, there is definitely a financial reset happening. One person says here, one step closer to the IMF SDRs being used as a global currency. And if it was a digital SDR, because guys, they have to renew, the IMF has to renew their SDRs, I believe, every 4 or 5 years, and 2020 is the year for them to adapt that. So I think there's a good chance that they could use a basket of currencies backed by gold, as well as using XRP to implement it. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to continue on some exciting news. First up, I want to talk a little bit about this tweet here saying the Bearable Bull posted this recently and retweeting it starts internationally. So riots in the streets of Lebanon in the midst of a currency crash and surge in food prices. Army vehicles were set on fire and dozens of local banks targeted after anti-government protests clashed with security forces. A plunge in the local currency and exorbitant food prices is fueling the crisis in Lebanon. The Lebanese Red Cross confirmed multiple people were injured in the riots. And now it says here from Zaina Karam, the currency has lost more than half its value on a parallel market. Prices are out of control and social distancing is a thing of the past, guys. It may start in these countries, and like Lebanon's not even a third world country, guys. You know, Hamza Grenade said here, this is not even a third world country. This is a major issue. I wonder what they say in the thread here. Lebanon used to be beautiful. I feel bad for the people there. Oh, these crap giveaways. Anyways, next up, R3 Insider. So an inside report, also retweeted from the Bearable Bull, thank you Bear, said from the CEO of the boss of R3, sorry, during crisis periods, when markets go through extreme stress, you see where the cracks are. There are solutions that exist to avoid them. This crisis may be an accelerant for the deployment of new technology. That's David E. Rudder, one of the main bigwigs at R3. And guys, for those of you who don't know, R3 has a system called Corda Settler, and they used XRP as their native asset, and they are going to be implementing that in 80% of the banks in Italy for starters, and we're going to get to that in a few moments here. So here we go. Open your mind. Yoda, XRP Yoda. Open your minds, guys. You know, by March of 2020 next year, we're going to listen to this video, and I'll cut into this a bit more.
You know, by March 2020 next year, Italy's major banks, representing 78% of the banking sector, will be using Corda to run interbank reconciliations. And I believe that by October of next year, every single bank in Italy needs to have a Corda node. And there's a lot of Italians here, and I love Super Tuscan wine, so I want to stop right there and clap for the Italians. Yeah, baby!
So guys, by March of this year, 80% of banks in Italy will be on quarter note. And he goes on to Jonas goes on to say, open your minds, people. Ask yourselves, why is Italy on a full 100% lockdown? Do not be fooled. The system is being installed, guys. So the idea is the banks are all closed right now in Italy other than online banking. So it gives them a ripe opportunity to transition everything to the quantum financial system. I love this tweet from Robert Art. If you don't follow him, check him out, the Wolf of Rex Street, Robert Art. Bitcoin is a 1998 Nokia cell phone. XRP is a revolutionary iPhone. And I'd also consider it to say that like Bitcoin is like dial-up internet and XRP is like the 5G of internet. And here we go, Robert says, I own Bitcoin, but I haven't the slightest clue how anyone in the right mind would think it's superior tech to XRP. And then Armando Manzi says, with this creepy face, zero doubts. There we go. Awesome. Next up. Now, this is very interesting from the SEC here. Commissioner says, crypto is in its infancy, expects increased number of investors to diversify with digital assets. So in United States Securities and Exchange Commissioner Hester Pierce, known among crypto as Crypto Mama, is scheduled to end her term in June. Pierce, who has supported failed proposals for an SEC-regulated Bitcoin exchange trade fund, has championed ways to spur the overall growth of the industry in her turn. So then she says later on here, there's a lot of uncertainty, and uncertainty is not good for any business, and that, I think, includes crypto. That said, I think there is a moment for the industry, and that a lot of what the industry does can be done with people. And this is something I would say before this virus, that it can bring together people from across the world and help people work together virtually. They don't have to be in the same place to be working together. That in itself is an advantage for the industry, that you can continue working. And then she says later on here, or Pierce adds, I will say that I think that the idea of government cryptocurrency, a digital dollar or something like that, is very different than some of the things that we're talking about with crypto and blockchain and the private sector. But it's helpful to get people to think about these things. It's helpful for people to think about the positives and negatives of having it be a government issued versus a private issued currency. She says, you need to think about the privacy issues if you're creating some sort of digital currency. I think that's a really important question for a society to ask, because people don't really feel comfortable with the government or anybody else monitoring their transactions. That is very, very interesting, my friends. Forbes writes, Bitcoin halving, a new class of Bitcoin millionaires may emerge. I love the sounds of that, and I'd like to write in XRP millionaires. Crypto investors and hodlers alike are sitting on the edge of their seats waiting to see what unfolds with the highly anticipated halving event that is scheduled to take place mid-May. Since Bitcoin's inception in 2009, the halving, also known as halvening, is an event that takes place roughly every 4 years. During the halving, block rewards are cut in half. So the Michael Dabrowski, co-founder of the mining company PowX, says if Bitcoin supply decreases and the demand for Bitcoin stays the same, then the price of Bitcoin will increase. If Bitcoin supply decreases and the demand for Bitcoin increases, i.e. institutional investors, millennials, boomers looking to capitalize on hype increases, then the price of Bitcoin will see a significant increase in price. So maybe I never thought about this, but what you guys may not understand is if there is super crazy scarcity and super crazy increasing demand of Bitcoin, and people can't buy Bitcoin, they're going to move to the other large cap coins like Ethereum and most importantly XRP. They're going to try to diversify, because basically if you had bought $1,000 of Bitcoin in the summer of 2017 and $1,000 of XRP, you would have made like a lot more money with that $1,000 of XRP than you would of the Bitcoin. So it just pays for these smaller cap, these mid cap and large cap altcoins to diversify into them. I'm not saying don't buy Bitcoin. I'm not saying buy anything. This is not financial advice. I'm just saying that there's going to be a new dawn of the XRP millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires. And okay, now shout out to Judy Shelton, XRP community. Pay attention, Real XRP Boy says, to what this person has to say. All I'm saying is onward and upward.
As you suggested, rival nations are working very diligently to have an alternative to the dollar. And while they can't beat us as a currency, they can add features, because there is a demand for digital access to banking services, to payments. And I think it's very important that we get ahead of the curve to ensure that the dollar continues to offer the best currency in the world, the most respected, the most utilized, and we need fintech innovation to keep us going in the right direction and to be a leader instead of passively observing what other countries might do.
So the US is not going to allow China to dominate the digital currency, CBDC, central bank-backed currency field. They're not going to allow China to totally dupe the US out of the supremacy of having the world reserve currency. So the US is going to use fintech companies like Stellar Lumens, like the Foundation, like of course Ripple, and I'm obviously talking mainly about Ripple, right? But they're going to use that fintech technology, and they already are. And guys, we are only weeks away from the XRP takeover. I honestly believe that. It's going to be crazy. So Ripple partner SBI Holdings announces from DJ Peter Voss a dividend distribution plan for XRP. Let's just take a peek at this quick here. And then on April 28th, 2020, Holdings admits that they set the details about shareholder special benefit presentation method and time. It was declared that the coupon code was utilized for a specific number of XRP tokens exclusively included in the shareholder benefits and receiving plan. That is very interesting news. I love that. I love that. I love that. Now, guys, to reiterate this, so XRP's core to settler, vice versa, XRP is running on the core to settler. 80% of Italian banking industry now prepare to use a live blockchain application to transform the interbank reconciliation process, guys. We are only moments away from all this craziness. The US Congress members reintroduced digital dollar in an automatic boost to Communities Act, guys. It is all going down, and it is going down hard. I cannot get more excited now. We are in the green on all fronts in the top 10 of crypto. XRP is at 9.21% up, guys. I'm getting ecstatic that it's breaking through these resistance lines, and I believe it's going to keep breaking through these resistance lines in the coming days and weeks. And I believe May is going to be an incredibly profound time for XRP, for XLM, for Tezos, for Chainlink, but most importantly XRP, guys. So this is not financial advice, but be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. But do not, I repeat, do not sit on the sidelines and wait for the happening. Buy now, buy XRP, pack your bags as if you are moving for a long time, because you're going to be moving into a freaking mansion when this thing pops. So I hope you guys got lots of value from that. Take care, God bless, and have a fantastic day.
Thanks for watching my dad's channel, Crypto Media. Be sure to like,